I'm your host, T. Mitchell Bell, and we have the Weedrags here in the studio. How you doing, guys?
Good. How about yourself?
Great, man. Thanks. So usually I ask my guests to just kind of dig in and just play something, shake the nerves off, wake up. It's, this 1 o'clock, it's kind of like musician time. This is like when you're rolling out of bed from the gig in the evening. So
Definitely daylight shift.
Yeah. So what are you guys going to play for us?
We're going to do a song off our record called Boots Up.
And what's the name?
Boots Up.
Boots Up? Oh, okay.
Yep. Well, tell me at what point can I have a smile that I can keep? Because it always seems to be there when these birds sing me to sleep. I'm always under rested when it's time for me to rise, and I can't ever seem to hide it from these dark circles that surround my eyes. And I'll sing harmony on the tones of the Beltline drone. I'm an Appalachian bag of bones, born with a blue collar and steel toes. Lord, let me walk out of this coal mine and make my way back home. And it's fiddlesticks and these metronome clicks that cloud my dreams at night. And it's back underground, a mother 2.5 coming first thing morning light. Well, pick up your wrench and put down that pipe dream, just move on with your life. That was never advice that I desired to take, no matter how much my mother may have liked. And I'll sing harmony on the tones of the long wall drone. I'm an Appalachian bag of bones, born with a blue collar and steel toes. Lord, let me walk out of this coal mine and make my way back home. I was boots up in a crosscut one night down in the Bailey mine, when I decided that I had ate enough rock dust to last me the rest of my time. Well, now I'm up on my feet and my lamp's back on, so take me up to bottom if you can. Cause I know what I can become if I try, and you can be damn sure that I'm proud of what I am. I'm an Appalachian bag of bones, born with a blue collar and steel toes. Lord, let me walk out of this coal mine and make my way back home. 'Cause I'm an Appalachian bag of bones, born with a blue collar and steel toes. Lord, let me walk out of this coal mine and make my way back home.
Nice. Tight harmonies there. That's a coal mining song.
Yes,
for
sir.
sure, man. You guys write that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. So I was talking a little bit before the show, and Gary Antal plays guitar, mandolin, and vocals. And on the upright bass, we have Andy Gregg. He plays also mandolin and vocals, right? Is that the deal? And a little banjo, one of you guys I know.
Yeah, he plays the fiddle too.
A fiddle, yeah.
Don't let him lie.
Multi-instrumentalist, yeah. So I was reading your background. You guys both grew up in Daisy Town, right?
Yes, sir.
That's down on the Mon, I'm thinking, right? Is it close?
Mon River Valley. Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
Technically a suburb of California.
California, PA.
It's like near California.
Yeah, I was trying to remember where that was. Yeah, I knew it was down on the Mon River somewhere, but I couldn't remember where. I know I've been through there. There's so many little towns, dotted along the.
About a half mile long.
It's little.
Yeah, yeah. They'll have main streets, and a lot of them are closed up and boarded up. You go through Denora and places like that.
Yeah,
It's like where the steel mills
it used to be.
where it used to be, like this town used to be, like all the steel mills and stuff. But what I found interesting about talking to you guys, that you play Appalachian music, and it's Appalachian bluegrass, and we were talking a little bit about how there's like a dividing line, and how this old time Appalachians music has kind of made this comeback, and it seems to be migrating north and migrating everywhere. And how did I don't know who the spokesperson? I'll ask one of you guys to tell me how you guys got into playing playing this and playing together, I guess.
Well, sorry, the headphones are weird. It just kind of happened.
Just kind of happened?
Yeah, actually, how we ended up playing together was that Andy played in another band, and I played in another band, and his band opened up for the band I was in. And, we met. And then over the course of a year or two, just hanging out, talking every once in a while, we got together and started playing on one Monday night. And we've been going since about 2 years ago.
Okay, gotcha.
And before, I didn't play too much of this type of stuff before we got together.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of, I don't know, we learned how to do it our own way type of thing,
Gary, you went to Duquesne University, right, and studied with Joe Negri,
Yes.
according to your bio. So I would think that would be traditionally a jazz. That's traditionally a jazz school, like at least the composition wise. And
It
so
is,
forth.
like all of it is for the most part. I mean, they have a classical side too.
Yeah.
I majored in jazz guitar performance and sound recording, or I had a dual major, and playing a really fast bebop tune and playing a really burning bluegrass tune, the only difference is there's a little bit of difference in the swing. They're the same,
Gotcha.
It really, really translates very well.
Yeah, and the changes are different.
Yeah, but they're not always.
Yeah.
Depending on how you look at them, you can still get through them the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, I just I didn't grow up listening or playing bluegrass. It's just
Neither did I, or jazz, for that matter.
Well, blues and jazz kind of the same stuff, right? So it's the resolution of how the chords resolve to something, or there's a blue notes that are in there.
You have those
yeah,
type
right.
sounds,
Yeah, you're doing 1-4-5 a lot in blues, and then bluegrass you're doing 1-5 a lot.
Right.
You're going to the 5 instead of
which is a little bit weird to get used to at first.
It is your ear.
Yeah, because your ear's not used to even. It's like when you practice, you're training your body to do something, and you just train it to hear naturally things a certain way. And for the first 6 or 7 months, I had a really hard time with that. I would be off somewhere else, and it changes.
Your mind is used to that.
It's just used to hearing it a certain way.
Yeah, hearing that that blue note on the 4,
Right.
it's like this resolution that happens, and so but you're actually going a different direction. Yeah, my mind doesn't do that either. It's weird, But you grew up playing that type of music, or?
I started playing just guitar around the age of 16, but it was in punk bands and death metal bands through the first couple years of my journey.
Yeah.
And then got into a little bit of rockabilly, and Mike Ness kind of showed me the way to the bluegrass type of thing. I went to see him out in Baltimore a while back now, and he had the whole he had the upright bass and the steel guitars and the fiddle player and stuff, and I kind of just got into it that way and came home, and my old man had an Old Crow Medicine Show CD sitting on the table after actually he was getting a tattoo out in Finleyville, and the artist was listening to that record, and he brought it home, and I don't know, that was kind of it, man.
That was it, huh?
Yep, I was hooked.
Those guys, they were kind of part of that whole revival.
Yeah.
Had this City Dwelling Nature Seekers were in the band last week, and they were talking about how it's the "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" effect.
Yeah.
Where everybody started getting turned on to all this roots-oriented music.
I'd like to thank George Clooney.
Yeah, George Clooney.
For reviving bluegrass.
Yeah. But it's great to that this. I think this type of music should be more prevalent in this area, because really, You know, Pittsburgh is like at the very northern end of what I would consider to be Appalachia, and I know it goes all the way up through the middle of Pennsylvania. But really, you know, when you think of, we're like at the like the port of West Virginia. You know, everything flows down the Mon and down the Ohio. So,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, all of our water comes from Morgantown. You're from Cheat Lake.
Yeah, and then all of you know, our water comes from I don't know where it is, somewhere down on the Mon, but it all comes from the same source, you know. So yeah, it's there must be something in the water or something, you know.
I'm sure there's something in the water. I'm sure.
I'm kind of afraid of this in the water. Because you guys are upstream from me, so anyway. So you guys want to like dig in and play something else for us?
Sure.
What your latest CD you were telling me is a couple years old, but that's pretty recent.
It was last September.
Yeah,
right around a year.
Live CD.
Yeah, we did it at Soundscape Studios up in
Glassport.
Yeah, Glassport. But we played it live in the studio.
Cool. That's the only way. That's the way to do it, man. So, what are you going to do for us? In case you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs Live, and we have the Weedrags here in the studio this afternoon. And my name is T. Mitchell Bell. I'm your host, and we broadcast at 91.7 FM and stream live at WNJR.org every Friday at 1 o'clock.
Cool. This our tune is called the Tumbleweed Rag.
All right, this is the Weedrags on Acoustic Songs Live.
I spent 15 years soaking up too much wine. I like a handful of pills, crush them up into lines. Too high blindside pigsty crimson eyes. You get your head above the clouds, couldn't even see the sky. Whoa, tumbleweed, tumbleweed, I think you got the best of me. Rolling down an empty street, avoiding voices I don't see. Tumbleweed, tumbleweed, I think it best to leave you be. Infected, you're a sure disease, persistent you have grown. And I feel it down past the marrow in my bones. I got my hand in my pocket, thumbprint on the zone. And I surround myself with people who still feel all alone. In between your ears, silent fears, fate begins to show. She said you can't live forever in a rundown, broken home. Whoa, tumbleweed, tumbleweed, I think you got the best of me. Rolling down an empty street, avoiding voices I don't see. Tumbleweed, tumbleweed, I think it best to leave you be. Infected, you're a sure disease, persistent you have grown. And I feel it down past the marrow in my bones. The marrow in my bones. The marrow in my bones.
Say the world's for the young, but life that's for the old. Standing somewhere in the middle, at least that's what I'm told. But I'm still standing on the bottom of the loneliest things to find. Look around, you better stop, go and find some new to climb. Whoa, tumbleweed, tumbleweed, I think you've got the best of me. Rolling down an empty street, avoiding voices I don't see. Tumbleweed, tumbleweed, I think it best to leave you be. Infected, you're a short disease, persistent you have grown. And now feel it down past the marrow in my bone. Or down past the marrow in my bone.
Down past the marrow in my bone.
Or down past the marrow in my bones. The marrow in my bones. And now feel it down past the marrow in my bones.
All right, man. That's I was listening to that. That had some interesting chord changes in there. Yeah, it's like kind of some nice walking jazz kind of stuff too. You know, like
It's our creepy tune.
Creepy tune.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lyrics are kind of The I was looking over your bio, and so you played in Rough Creek. That's a pretty common. Everybody knows that band. It's pretty.
Yeah.
And Cole Center String Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys used to host like an open mic thing out at TGIF or something like that
Oh,
at
yeah,
one point?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, TGI Fridays out in
yeah.
Trinity Point there.
Yeah, my dad would go out there to that, and he would text me and say, "Hey, you gotta check these guys out," you know? Yeah, he would go out. He's probably listening right now. So he's fan of you guys. He,
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was also looking over Gary. You were on like Carnival Cruise Lines and did like all this wild stuff. Like you've been everywhere. You got to have some really good stories. I know.
Probably none that we can talk about right here.
Really?
No. Yeah, I mean, it was. I got really lucky when I got out of school. I got a gig at Cedar Point, like on a couple of days' notice. My friend had a gig and he got a job. He couldn't take it, so he called me and I got the gig. And then like it just was contacts, you know, and like that ended in the late summer, and like 6 weeks later, I went on a Disney ship, you know, and then I was in Vegas, and I just went anywhere they'd pay me to do this. Yeah, I went.
Yeah,
you know.
I hear you.
And then I went to Nashville and never really got paid to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and then came home. It's been like I've been home almost 4 years now,
Oh wow.
and it's is it almost 4 years? Almost 3 years, 4 years, something like that. 2009.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
But you were out in
8,
Seattle.
4 years.
You were in Seattle too.
Yeah, that was just kind of like a trip. Like
Yeah.
I came off of my first Disney contract, and I had some money, and I had a girlfriend who wanted to go move out there, and I was like, well, I'll go hang out for a few months.
I was there then.
Yeah, it's a great place.
I was there in '99, 2000. I was there.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
You know? I played at the Blue Moon over by the university, like University of Washington.
Oh, you need
like-
to ask my son about that.
Yeah.
He knows about the place.
Yeah, I hosted an open mic there one time, and I went to it all the time, and played with like the last day I lived there. I played with some old guy named Coulter Brown. He was his name. He was this
Boy, that sounds
big
familiar.
old. He was a phenomenal blues player.
Yeah.
You know, so he called me into the gig, and I took my Strat, and I went, and like I was by far the youngest guy in the room, and I was
Wow.
only 22,
Wow.
23. Yeah, I got my butt kicked.
Well, I went to Bumbershoot that year. It was really that was. I don't know if you were there for that, but it was like his big festival. You know, it's really cool. You know, so Ben Harper and Annie DeFranco and a whole bunch of other. They do it every year. It's like a really big thing. You know, it's like but the folk and blues scene out. I was surprised. Is really.
You know, man, that
blues
was the
scene.
thing, is that I went out there like because it's grunge. You know, to my generation. You know, I was in high school for Pearl Jam, and and Nirvana and all that stuff. And I went out there, and you think that's what you're going to see. And I was amazed at how much really good folk music there was. Like guys coming out of the hills, you know, with mandolins and stuff. And they were just, I mean, a phenomenal, like bluegrass scene almost.
Yeah.
You know, it was really good.
Yeah. Tractor Tavern's a really hopping place for that stuff out there.
Is it like up north of the city somewhere? Yeah. I think I remember that place. It's a very woody looking place.
I want to say it's in Ballard. I can't remember. Does that
It's
sound
either
right?
that or Bellingham. Started with a B.
Oh, it's Ballard. Bellingham's probably about
It's down south,
70
right?
miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ballard. I don't know. Some years are hazier than others.
Yeah.
You know.
So what, Greg? When you got out of school and you went to Full Sail University,
Yeah.
tell me about that. What was that?
Yeah, I went down there. I was just working labor jobs and decided I was going to try something a little different. I wanted to get into the recording game, so I applied it for Full Sail in Orlando and went down there for a year and got an associate's degree. Came back and just did some amateur recording for a while, and that's actually how we got hooked up, because I knew him from Rough Creek, and I needed a studio guitar player for a project I was working on.
What was that?
Case Scaretti's project.
Oh yeah.
And he come in and played guitar on it, and then we just kind of sat around in the studio afterwards and started getting on that. But I don't really do the recording thing too much anymore. You know, I mean, I'd rather be on the other side of the glass, to be honest with you. So.
Yeah. It's interesting how there's folks have certain strengths, or either performing or writing, songwriting, or singing, or turning the knobs, engineering too. You know, that's like a whole other thing. You know, like it's cool to turn it over to somebody else and let somebody engineer.
Yes. I never want to engineer my own record.
Oh no,
it would be awful.
No, it's hard. It really is, because you can't do that. It's
a friend of mine and I did it years ago. You know, and we were roommates in Tennessee together, and we ended up being a pretty good record, we thought, but we almost killed each other 7 or 8 times in the middle of it. You know, just because we were doing all of it. It was too much stress.
Yeah, I think it's just better to turn the mic on and just play, and play for as long as you can, and then go, well, let's see what magic happened. You know, because if you sit there and try to click it and all that other kind of stuff, you can't. Well.
You lose a lot of synergy at that point too, if it's real mechanical.
Yep.
Go back over it. And
a lot of musicians nowadays can't even play their instruments half
or
the time.
sing.
It's all
Melodyne and auto-tune and singer in a box.
Auto-tune and looped everything, and you know, it's like, and Milli Vanilli got in trouble. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so you guys want to play another tune for us?
Sure.
All right.
Scattered Pieces.
Sure.
All right, so this is the Weedrags, and that's a cool name. I didn't ask you guys, we'll talk about that, how you came up with that name.
This is not on the record. You know, it came to be right after that, so it'll be on the next one. It's a tune called Scattered Pieces.
Little boy, little girl, little waterfall world, little valley shaded green. Building up a dam with the mud on their hands, making puddles in a little stream. With eyes so wide they can mirror in the sky, paint the truth like a pointed blade. Well, my 2 cents don't make much sense, but you gotta grow up one day. Now it seems to me that all the things I've seen repeat ain't nothing free. Not the dust beneath my knees. Well, I'm dirty and I'm humble. Now do what I do best. Scatter the pieces and study the mess. Well, now the years roll by with a wink and you sigh, gain knowledge, but it ain't clean. It gets hard to have the faith and believe in a dream that you had when you were 17. 'Cause every story told gets covered in mold, familiar faces fade. They go back to the fold, everything gets sold, and we're gonna run cold one day. Seems to me that all the things I've seen repeat ain't nothing free. Not the dust beneath my knees. Well, I'm dirty and I'm humble. Now do what I do best. pieces and study the mess. Time that you dare ask why disappointment looms. You spend the rest of your days in an unsure haze, building walls, making little rooms. I'll take a long look back, be content where you're at, take it all for what it was worth. Well, everything was beautiful and nothing hurt, and now it seems to me that all the things I've seen repeat ain't nothing free. Not the dust beneath my knees. Well, I'm dirty and I'm humble. Now do what I do best. Scatter the pieces and study the mess.
Very nice song. Like that a lot, man. Nice lyrics.
Thanks.
Yeah. So the Weedrags, where did that come from?
Well, as we stand here eating cough drops and sniffling in your microphones, comes from seasonal allergies. To be honest, we both have a pretty decent ragweed allergy, and that was some fun with dyslexia.
Ragweed and weed rag.
Came out of my mouth backwards.
There you go.
A woman asked us what we were called, and I said we're called the ragweed or the Weedrags, and I meant to say ragweed, and yeah.
That's what you were going to be, ragweed?
That's what I was
going
to call for that night. The first 4 or 5 times we played, we had different names every time because it was a different group of guys. Me and him and other people. So.
That's cool, man. That's. I have the same thing. I have the same problem. I'm all hopped up on.
Sudafedrin.
Yeah.
Oh no, just I take something else, but yeah, Allegra or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But,
Claritin, man.
Yeah, there's.
Blow your mind.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that I've taken over the years. It's difficult being a singer too, man.
Yeah.
Having allergies and like sinusitis all the time.
You get scratchy and then you can't really control it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, you can't take antihistamines all the time because then it'll dry everything out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I empathize with that. That's great. I thought it was something else. I didn't know what the what
We get
the
a
weed
lot of questions
part.
about it.
It's a common question.
It's a common
It's like,
question.
what's a weed rag?
We have an answer for that.
What's a weed rag, Bob? Tell us.
There was 2 things, actually. It was on the West Coast in the late 60s, there were pamphlets that they handed out to try to initially get marijuana legalized.
Oh,
They
okay.
were called weed. We didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
And then certain things that those guys wear on their heads.
Oh, okay.
The Rastafarian headgear is called
Oh, okay.
We think it's just someone who's been beat down a little bit, but
Yeah, it could be High Times magazine would be a weed rag.
Yeah.
Right.
There you
Yeah.
go. I mean, that's possible.
a towel made of grass.
Yeah,
Hemp.
yeah.
Hemp.
It's hemp claw. So it escaped my mind. There was another question I wanted to ask you guys. Oh, about your your regular gigs you have here in town. You have a couple open mic things.
Yeah, we
you
do a every Tuesday night bluegrass jam night at Rinky Dink's Roadhouse. That's like around a 9 o'clock start around there, and that's we do it around one condenser microphone. So we just kind of kick it old timing out there, and then we do a every Thursday night gig now at the Tuscan Tavern on East Chestnut Street here in town, and that's an open mic. So we have different artists come out, sign up, and but just the difference is between the Tuesday and the Thursday is one's a jam night, like an open stage, and the other one's a sign up kind of more.
Oh, okay. So
more
one's more of a
structure to it.
bluegrass type of thing, and the
Yeah.
other one's
Anybody can come
kind
and
of
play.
goes.
We've had all sorts of different things, different types of acts, but for the most part, it's at least 3 of us to maybe 6 of us screaming into a microphone.
Gotcha.
A lot of playing things we don't know lately.
Yeah,
know?
like
Yeah, just-
like old time bluegrass type of things. Yeah, it just
We have a friend that comes and he brings a songbook, and it's funny because it's just lyrics with the chord number, like chords written above the lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well, we'll try that one. So
Hey, a lot of fun comes out of stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of embarrassing moments too.
Oh yeah.
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 I have one of those books. I tried to, learn all these old bluegrass tunes and stuff, and I just don't have time anymore. It's like, so I find myself falling back on the, what I know.
Standards.
You only need one lick.
Oh yeah, the what's that called? The something G.
The Lester Flat lick there or whatever.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So the other thing I saw you guys have coming up, you're opening up for Larry Keel down at
Yeah, 123 Pleasant Street.
3 weeks from today.
October 19th.
Cool. Have you played with him before?
Well, we did.
Kinda, we were in the same room.
He's heard us play. We were standing by the bathroom at Rinky Dinks, like playing last year.
Oh, okay,
We weren't on the gig, but
Yeah, we didn't play on stage.
Oh, okay.
That's how we went out and acquired our audience, bathroom lines.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Seriously, yeah.
At Rinky Dinks?
At Rinky Dinks, we stood right next to where you go into the bathroom.
By the pool table.
At like every big show that came through for a couple of months, and just played there.
I wish that I lived closer, that I could make it out there, because it's a hopping place from what I understand.
Oh, yeah.
And there's
It's
always
cool. It's just great.
Yeah.
Best sounding club to play in that there is.
Really? I mean, you guys have played all over Pittsburgh too, so
Yeah,
that's
it's the
something.
best sounding club.
Wow.
No matter where you go in it, it's a big place, you know. And there's all separate. Each little area, like room, is slightly different. You know, where we play on Tuesdays has a tin ceiling and a concrete floor and wood paneled walls, and it's beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I know the owner. He has the old trails. Do you guys ever play out there? Yeah.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah. But Rinky Dinks has this kind of, I don't know. It definitely has like kind of that Nashville
Honky tonk
vibe to
absolutely.
it. That's really authentic and.
It's like the only thing missing is Patrick Swayze. You'd have right here. You know?
They could have filmed Urban Cowboy Gillies, like they
Yeah,
could have
for
done
sure,
it there, and it would have been.
It should have
okay.
been done up here.
Yeah, but I remember the pig, like
Harley.
He passed away, I think,
Harley,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, like the first time I went up there, I was stopping in to drop off a demo or something, I forget, but I didn't see Harley, man. It was like there, and then I did a double take, you know, like. Whoa, that's a pig, man! It moved, you know. It's like it's alive, you know. That freaked me out, man. That was wild. But that's
It wasn't necessarily the friendliest pig all the time.
I only saw it one time, and it was shortly after that it passed away. I think, you know. I saw on their website, you know, Harley's gone or whatever, you know. Yeah. But that's my family stomping roots out there. Lone Pine, Amity. The Paul family, my mom's side of the family, they came there in 1790 and settled and had a farm. And
Beautiful country out there.
it really is.
It is.
You know, if you go through the old section of Lone Pine, down where they used to own the building across from the Lone Pine Market, and then they actually used to have the Lone Pine Market and all that, and farms all around there. But it's a cool area. You know, I really wish I would have. Known more about it when I was growing up. I really didn't know, you know, about the family history until later on in life. You know, there's like so much family history out there. You know, I go up to the Lone Pine Cemetery and you can go like, oh, I'm related to them. Yeah. It's a neat area. So, anyway, so you guys grew up around here and you play in Pittsburgh a lot. I know you're also going to be hosting an open mic coming up. When is that?
At Club Cafe on the south side, October 15th.
October 15th. Okay, so a couple weeks. I just wanted to let people know if you...
they can check the Weedrags.com.
Weedrags.com.
Our whole schedules.
Have your schedule up there, because you know, we get to the South Hills in Pittsburgh all the way up to like Peters Township over to Mount Lebanon. I think is about. Then you hit Mount Washington. They don't pick us up. So if anybody's listening, make sure you come and check them out and come down to Washington and see these guys play live, because they really put on a great show. You want to do another song for us? Sure. Yeah, I'll give our top of the half hour. You're listening to WNJR Washington, and we're broadcasting live from the studio here at acousticSongs Live with the Weedrags on 91.7 FM and WNJR.org. So what are you going to do for us?
We're going to do a song. This will be on the next record as well. It's a story about a guy I know. Some people out there might know him or know someone just like him. One. Well, Joe Jr. was the son of old Joe Cole, and Jr. was the kind of fella whose wrench never fit the bolt. But instead of walking over to the shed and finding the tool that fit, he'd put it on the worst he could, pull it till it's stripped. No matter how much he would cuss and swear, it never did seem to help. And he was convinced that no one understood just exactly how he felt. His daddy always told him, son, you've got to take your time. Don't waste your whole life chasing dollars when you can enjoy a dime. Embrace all your mistakes and follow your dreams up to the sky. But you can't always expect to be a first try type of guy. It wasn't long before Joe Jr. met a girl to call his gal. Every Tuesday night he'd accompany her to a rinky-dink honky-tonk in their town. She'd wrap her arms around him, shove her hands deep in his pockets. She'd empty them out before he knew, and he couldn't find the nerve to tell her to stop it. But late at night when his money was gone, she would leave him there all alone. And he'd think back to the time his old man told him everything that he had to know. His daddy always told him, son, you've got to take your time. Don't waste your whole life chasing dollars when you can enjoy a dime. Embrace all your mistakes and follow your dreams up to the sky. But you can't always expect to be a first try type of guy. Well, I saw Mr. Colt Sr. just the other day, and he was outside shoveling snow. He said, if you see that whiskey-soaked out late boy of mine, you tell him that I said he has to go. 'Cause I've given him every chance in the world, he's taken it all for granted. And if he comes back, he'll get a kick and a smack, and he'll be lucky if he leaves here standing. 'Cause his daddy always told him, son, you've got to take your time. Don't waste your whole life chasing dollars when you could enjoy a dime. Embrace all your mistakes and follow your dreams up to the sky. But you can't always expect to be a first try type of guy.
Nice guitar work there, man. That was really sweet. I was just wondering what some of your influences are on, like, for playing bluegrass stuff. You know,
Playing bluegrass?
Yeah.
That's a tough call. Like,
Yeah?
I don't know. I mean, I like a lot of different stuff, you know. But, like, I really dig Larry Keel
Larry
a
Keel?
lot, yeah. You know, I think he's kind of an alien. He's not from this planet.
Yeah,
he can do things with his right hand that are just mind-blowing.
Yeah. And Tony Rice, another one. Yeah, he's like, I don't know what he does.
It's so soft when he plays. It's also, you know, such a light player. It'd be hard. I can't imagine how it would be to play with him.
Yeah.
You'd have to play so soft.
Yeah.
You know?
And what about, you ever listen to Norman Blake or?
Yeah, I really like Norman Blake.
And Doc Watson, those guys. I mean, yeah, the picking. And I'm trying to think what's it? Brian Sutton? Brian Sutton? No?
I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't know if I've.
Okay.
Really listened
It's somebody to check it. Yeah, he's like Larry Keel kind of bluegrass picking guy. He was like one of those child prodigy players, you know, like Chris Thiele. Yeah, that guy. Yeah,
that guy.
It's like,
Hate
you
guys
know,
like that, man.
yeah, it's like 5, and he was
Yeah.
touring with what's his name? Larry. Was it Larry? No, not Larry. You know, not Spraggs, right?
Skaggs.
Ricky Skaggs. Yeah, he was like on tour with Ricky Skaggs when he was a kid. You know,
He's just like he's different. To get that good at something, you know, all those guys like that.
How does that happen?
I listen to a lot of, like, we both do.
Savant.
We listen to a lot of the newer bluegrass bands too, you know.
Yeah.
Like the more the like jam oriented stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I get into those guys a lot, but I really don't listen to the guitar players as much as I listen to like the mandolin players and the banjo players and stuff. Like, I like that stuff. You know, I don't think I could ever really flat pick like Doc Watson. I mean, who could? You know. So I like to take things from the other instruments.
It's interesting how they took the fiddle tunes and then, you know, transcribed them onto the guitar.
Yeah.
Like how that originally started, you know, with the flat picking bluegrass stuff was really just transcribing fiddle,
Yeah,
wasn't
trying
it?
to play it on a fiddle tune on a guitar.
Yeah.
Some of them lay out really well, and some of them don't.
Yeah, some of them
Some of
don't.
them are really hard.
Maybe that's why I have such a hard time, like, you know, because it's really a lot of alternate picking, kind of like jumping around stuff.
It's all about the capo, man.
Yeah,
it is. You
Well,
know?
yeah.
You know, because like even if a tune's in C, you know, sometimes that tune will be easier to play out of like a G form than it would have been out of a C form. So you put the capo up here and play it like it's in G, and the fingerings are easier.
I've noticed that a lot of the fingerings are in the G forms.
A lot of them. It has the most open strings. You know, the G major chord has the most open strings, which is what you want.
You can do a lot of you know, hammer-ons and pull-offs and stuff. You know.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm really a banjo player at heart. I just can't do it. You know,
Because you're not.
I've always tried to play banjo licks on the guitar. You know, for like a long, even before I was into doing this. You know, I remember thinking, man, those things are like, you know, that kind of stuff. It's all banjo-esque. I always like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I find it interesting to talk shop about that stuff because it's like, it's a different style. You know, it really is because since you're playing acoustically, and you're not playing through an amp, you have to fill a lot of space up. You can't just like hit a note and it'll like sustain, you know, and you know, or bend and up and down. You know, you don't find a lot of bends going on in bluegrass. It's more like you're going through the blue notes like you know.
Only one guy can do it, the fiddle player. He's the only guy that can really sustain a note.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody else you just go as fast as you can, hold on for dear life, hope you make it to the end.
Or get those, you know, 3 or 4 note bends out of a string, you know, like you can't like really get like that on the electric. You can, you know, unless you have very strong hands.
I look at it like I know how I'm going to start and I know how I'd like to end. Like when we do the fast stuff, you know, like the traditional stuff.
Yeah.
Like I always know how I want to start and where I'd like to end, and everything between that is subject to change.
So do you guys have like a traditional thing you could like do for us? Is there like something off?
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot,
No,
you know.
that's
I was
all
just
right.
like,
I would rather play like that Yonder tune or something like that.
We do that?
Really
you can do whatever you want.
right.
I was just wondering if there's something that, you know.
Yeah, we don't have like an original burning song yet, like a fast one, really.
Oh, no, I didn't mean original. I like just like a traditional bluegrass kind of thing that you guys. I saw you got like "Rolling in Sweet Baby's Arm." That's a kind of a traditional
that.
thing. It's a,
Sure.
You know, any of the just something that you know.
Yeah, we'll do "Rolling in My Sweet Baby's Arms."
Okay, cool. That's one of those everybody knows.
Yeah.
You know. And
No one knows who wrote it.
What's some of the other ones that Shady Grove? You know,
Yeah.
Everybody's plays Shady Grove. You know, it's
Those are like the standards.
yeah, the standards that, you know, if you were going to do them out at Rinky Dinks on a Tuesday night, you know, people show up and they say, "Oh, let's do Rocky Top." You know, yeah.
Old Joe Clark. And
Old
all
Joe
that,
Clark.
All the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sally
How you
Good.
gonna start? Since we're
You just want to just tap in?
yeah.
I'm rolling. Ready? I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. We'll lay round the shack till the mail train gets back. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. Well, I ain't gonna work on the railroad. I ain't gonna work on the farm. I'm gonna lay around the shack till her old man comes back. And I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. We'll lay around the shack till the mail train gets back. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. Now tell me where you was last Friday night when I was lying in jail. Oh, you were out on the street with some other man, and you wouldn't even come make my bed. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. We'll lay round the shack till the mail train gets back. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. I know that her parents don't like me. They chase me away from their door. And if I had this life to live over again, I wouldn't come around here no more. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's arms. We'll lay around the shack till the mail train gets back. I'm rolling in my sweet baby's, rolling in my sweet baby's, rolling in my sweet baby's arms.
Nice. Wish I would have had a mic on the acoustic, cause, like, you know, for those lead parts, but you could definitely pick it out. That's cool, man. Hey, so you guys have a gig tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
Where are you playing?
The Trailside Pub in West Newton.
Trailside Pub in West Newton. Is that close to the bridge? I'm
It's right
trying.
in front of the
Right in
bridge.
front of the bridge.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
on the bike shop.
Yep. There's a
Okay.
bike shop, the rental for the trail there.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think. You get down off of the Spears Bridge down that. Is
Oh,
it
no,
close
no,
to
no.
that?
It's out, and that's
What am I thinking of?
that's a place called Smitty's.
That's right. Okay, it's right on the river,
Right
right?
on the river.
Yes.
I live right- that's
the
right
boat
where I live.
boat dock area, right down
Yeah.
that area. There's like a little kind of old time village or something down
Right.
there. Okay, all right,
This is
gotcha.
about 15 minutes past that. That's
Okay.
on the other side of Bell Vernon.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so the Trailside Pub in,
Yep.
yeah, and then tomorrow night you guys are playing some like two things. I think I
Yeah,
saw.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're at the Fall Music Festival in Rock Falls up in Slippery Rock
Okay.
at 3 o'clock till like 4:30, and then we gotta get out of there and bust down to Waynesburg. We're playing at the Eagles Club in Waynesburg tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
Cool. So, folks, if you're north of the city, check them out at Slippery Rock and south here in Waynesburg. I know we get down to Waynesburg with our broadcast area. And in case you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs Live here at the WNJR radio station studio, and we have the Weedrags here in the studio. And hey, you guys, thank you very much for coming in. I've been,
Thanks for having us.
I've really enjoyed it. Looking forward to coming and checking out a live show sometime. I've been meaning to do that, but I don't get a chance to go out that much and check out live music anymore. But I was looking at the list of places you're playing, and I think I might have to come down to Rinky Dink sometime on
Yeah,
a
please
Tuesday
do.
night. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Or even Tuscan, that'd be a cool thing. But I want to see the bluegrass jam night. And you guys we got a couple more minutes. You want to take us out with a song? I was looking at some of your stuff. I was wondering about Old Red Hill. What's that about? And I know Last Pack of Smokes. That's probably like your
That's like the single.
The single.
yeah.
Old Red Hill is a song about Old Red Hill is a place in Daisytown.
Okay.
But there's a neighborhood above Daisytown that's called Crescent Heights,
Okay.
and all the houses used to be red, so they called it Red Hill.
Oh, okay.
And it's just about a guy that lives up there.
Oh, okay. It reminded me of where Turkey Foot, that area.
Cedar Hill.
It's like that old red house in Turkey Foot that was on the hill. That's what I thought of. It was like something like that. But that's pretty cool, man. I was like wondering what's that. I listened to that song I think online. I was like, wonder what's that about.
It's about someone I know.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, what do you want to take us out with? We're coming up on the 2 o'clock
pack?
hour.
You want to do
the
something
single?
different?
That'll make a difference.
Okay. We got to tune the mandolin for everything else. And then
okay.
Mandolins, dude, they don't tune it. Forget about it.
Oh, that's fine. We
Yeah.
have, we could, if you want to play 2 on the way out, we can do that too. So,
I don't think we need to do that.
all right.
We could, but
All right. Well, this is a song I wrote about keeping habits and losing women, which seems to be the only thing I've been consistent at so far. Well, this is my last pack of smokes, my last bag of dope. Well, hell, I even think I drank my last beer. Well, now I'm gonna put myself up on the wagon just to see how far I can get. I promise it'll be a little farther than last time, honey, don't you leave me yet. I know I said I was done, I know I said I was through, but I just don't think you truly understand how hard it's gonna be to do. But you said that you were leaving if I did not hear every word that you had to say. Well, sit back down here next to me and have you a brewski, and maybe you decide to stay. But then I promise this'll be my last pack of smokes, my last bag of dope. Well, then I'll salute you with my last beer. Well, now I'm gonna put myself back up on the wagon just like I said I would. But it's not because you told me so, it's because I think I should. past I've always prided myself in my punctuality, but I'm damn sure that I'm gonna lose my job due to irresponsibility, because I've been late every day this week, and I know because my foreman reminds me so. Well, keep your hard hat, I'm gonna enjoy my life back, and don't you miss me when I go. Well, out to buy my last pack of smokes, my last bag of dope. Well, then I'll salute you with my last beer. Well, now I'm gonna put myself back up on the wagon, just like I said I would. But it's not because you told me so, it's because I think I should. I dried up just like you said, but I didn't think I'd had enough. Oh, won't you calm down, baby, stop yelling at me and stop breaking all my stuff. Now let's try us something different and have a conversation before you tell me things are over. Actually, after hearing your mouth all night, I can't even stand you when I'm sober. And this will never ever be my last pack of smokes, and I'll never burn my last pack of dope. I'm gonna head on out the local honky-tonk for a cold beer every Tuesday and Thursday. Cause don't you see that I fell off the wagon before it got to my stop? Well, I jumped off the wagon and learned that it was much more fun to walk. Well, it's much more fun to walk. Don't you know it's much more fun to walk?